there, I'm Deborah Charnes, and I am the owner of the Namaste Counsel and the Namaste Getaway. The Namaste Getaway is an Airbnb mini retreat center in Wimberley, Texas, which is an hour from San Antonio and about 50 minutes from Austin. And the Namaste Counsel, I am an experienced registered yoga teacher of many years, and I'm also a certified yoga therapist, which is not really a yoga teacher. It is more like a life coach and a therapist, and I do all different things. But what I am going to be talking about today is the difference between yin and yang from a physical perspective and more. So most of you are familiar with the image of the yin and the yang, the round circle with the black and the white that kind of mesh and they kind of fit within one another. And hopefully you have an understanding, a very basic understanding of yin and yang. But to just put it very simply, it's about balance. And I have an Ayurvedic background and also traditional Chinese medicine. I've read a lot about traditional Chinese medicine, but I did go to study in India, Ayurveda. And from a traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic standpoint, which is the life science from India, everything, health and well-being, is about balance. And too often we don't have enough balance in our lives. So when we talk about the yin and the yang, it's about finding that balance. And I'm just going to very broadly talk about the difference between yin and yang. Yin can be viewed as female, as the moon, as quiet, as cool, as close to the ground. And yang can be seen as the masculine, hot like the sun, very active and mobile, and louder, whereas the yin is quieter. So that's just some very basic thoughts as to the difference between yin and yang. From a physical perspective, most of us have too much yang in our lives because we are running from one place to another. The alarm clock wakes us up with a loud buzz. Not me, I don't use it, but for many people, loud buzz. They get in the car, there's all this loud honking, and they're rushing, they're speeding, and I don't mean literally speeding, but they're not going at a walking pace or a horse's pace, right? So they're going at fast speeds, whether it's in a car, whether it's in public transportation, but you're not going at the normal speed that you were meant to move at. So it's being rushed, and there is noise all around us. And I've talked before about sound pollution and how it's jarring. So all that is very yang. When we don't get enough sleep, again, it's too much yang. We have a tendency from a physical activity perspective and exercise perspective, we believe that being physical means working out hard, sweating, and moving quickly and building up the muscles. That is all very yang. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. We all need some of that. But we need to balance it out. And that's why yin yoga is my favorite style of physical yoga. I have other branches of yoga that are my favorite yoga branches, such as bhakti yoga, which is about devotion, or karma yoga, which is about selfless service. But when it comes to the physical component of yoga, my favorite style is yin, because yin is calming. Yin does not work the muscles, it works your connective tissues. In yin, you are not sweating. I use like a blanket to put on top of me or to put underneath me. In yin, you are still. My training with yin is that you should hold every pose for 6 minutes. Sometimes I will hold a pose for 12 minutes. So again, yin is about being still in your pose. And the heritage or the history of the physical component of yoga is all about stillness in your seat. It is not about moving around and jumping up and down and doing sun salutations, which I do every morning. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I do 12 rounds, which is 24 sun salutations every morning. But I balance it out. And I do that first thing in the morning to get moving because I have been still in bed for however many hours, right? So, as I mentioned, everything is important. You can't say, yes, you have to have just yin or you have to have just yang. You balance it out. And there are different times of the day or of the year when a yin physical approach is better than a yang physical approach. And I'm not talking just about yoga. It's about anything you do. So today I took 2 very brisk walks during the middle of the day. And both of them were around the time of the day when I was eating, before or after. And they were brisk walks, but I felt that I needed to get energized. But at nighttime, for example, I highly encourage that you must slow down. So even if it's a walk, take a more calm, relaxing walk. The same thing, of course, about your yoga practice. So I highly recommend yin yoga in the evening before bedtime, as opposed to, the 24 sun salutations that I do first thing in the morning. And to me, the balancing out, it's kind of logical. When you're hot, when it's 100 degrees here in Texas in the summer, it's natural that you're going to want a fan and you're going to want to wear sleeveless clothes and shorts and sandals. And maybe you want to eat ice cream or drink iced tea because that balances out the heat. Likewise, we had some unusual snow here in Texas last week. And when it's cold in the winter, you need to warm up and you also need to hibernate a little bit more. So, again, all that is the natural tendency to balance things out. So, if you are sick, for example, if you have the flu, chances are you're going to have zero desire to go work out with weights or to run around the block. But yin yoga can be done. And I did a lot of yin yoga when I was in Central America a couple of years ago. I was bit by a dog and then I got a 2nd-degree burn within a matter of 30 days. So I knew that I needed to heal myself and I needed more calm. So I did a lot of yin yoga and I coupled that with mantra meditation. I did it for a couple of hours a day. So anyway, my whole point is that there are benefits to yin and benefits to yang in yoga. Yin yoga versus Ashtanga yoga, for example, is very yang. So if anybody has done Ashtanga yoga, chances are they sweat a lot when they were in Ashtanga yoga. So again, from an Ayurvedic perspective, aside from looking at it at the time of the day or the time of the year, such as midday versus evening or summer versus winter, we also look at it from each person's individual constitution. So one of the things that I do all the time in my yoga therapy is I evaluate what someone's inherent constitution is and where they are today. Because you may inherently have one constitution, but due to your lifestyle or due to whatever, it's been way off balance. And so, based on your constitution, you may need a more yin approach or a more yang approach. So, I have said many times that hot yoga, such as Bikram, It's very good for some people. For other people, I would say, don't ever do it. That is not what you need. You need something more cooling. So anyway, I invite you to learn more about Yin Yoga. I have several articles on my website, the Namaste, Namaste Counsel, COUNSEL.com, under my blog spot. And if you go to my blog spot, there's a toolbar or a search engine, and you can put in Yin, Y-A-Y-I-N, and you can read a number of articles that I've written about Yin Yoga. And of course, I do virtual yin and yang yoga sessions, as well as Ayurvedic consults and in general yoga therapy. So I do invite you, of course, to check out my website, and also my Facebook page is the same thing, the Namaste Counsel, and my Instagram page is my name, the same as my YouTube channel. So again, whatever you choose to do with your life, find balance, because we all need to be balanced, to be happy, and to be healthy. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and comment. Thank you, in Namaste from Wimberley, Texas.